Hello, welcome, and thank you for coming to the show, and welcome to everybody at home. I have no idea where Peter is at the moment. He went out shopping. Anyway, if he does come back, what we're going to do for you is a crepe cake, which is a lovely savoury. Then we're going to do some crepes stuffed with some cottage cheese, which are like Russian crepes. And finally, some crepes that are done in a Cointreau sauce.
I'll never eat in your cafe again. You're a hideous individual. I'm so sorry. Hello. I'm exhausted. I went down the road to that cafe to have a cup of coffee and just get some bread and everything. It's run by some Frenchman with a little moustache. He was so rude. Broke my bread, look.
We won't eat
I didn't pay either.
You know it was, don't you?
No, he looks familiar, actually.
Our guest, the lovely Gorden Kaye.
Oh. I should have known. Terrible experience it was. Terrible. Oh, at least I'll go down there later and show you how to make crepes. Now, we're going to do crepes for you today, and we're talking crepes, not pancakes. Crepes are dainty, feather-light things that eat within a moment. So I want to, the recipe for this we've used for years and years, and I want to do it for you because it's a very particular one. I've got 2 cups of plain flour here and a pinch of salt. Now, it must be plain flour. You cannot do this with self-raising flour, otherwise you're going to have the most awful mess you've ever seen in your life. So just sift that in. Oh, there's quickest, isn't it? I'm adding to that now, it doesn't matter the order of this, because you'll see the principle afterwards, 2 cups of milk, and then to that 4 whole fresh eggs. Now, I'm doing what I tell everybody else I shouldn't do, is break them into a cup first before you add them to something in case one's off.
Could be off, couldn't it?
They
then
could
what would
be.
you do?
But this is England, and the eggs are always fresh, aren't they? Don't think I've ever seen a rotten egg yet. Now, you just mix all this together. Oh, this would be nice, going to go everywhere, until you're making it'll make quite a thick batter. But when I get this going, and if you can, use a balloon whisk like this or a rotary whisk to get all the lumps out. Just takes a few seconds. You can see there, I'm getting quite a claggy gunk. But if you use what are you doing? I'm trying to talk to him out there. Well, you can wait. Just get a balloon whisk and use this, and you'll see those lumps are coming out. Now, to this we're adding, and this is very, very important, 150 grams of melted butter, which you tip in. And the principle of using a lot of butter is that it makes the mixture quite greasy. And this mixture will make about 20 to 30 crepes. And if you make a whole lot, they freeze superbly. And the butter, when you bring them out to let them thaw at room temperature to use them, keeps them nice and greasy, and they cook superbly. But you'll see that butter is incorporated in there. I'll kill you afterwards. Now, what you do with that is you leave that for a minimum of 1 hour. This is very important because it works.
I know.
You leave that stand now for a minimum of 1 hour. It doesn't matter if you leave it longer, but just leave it at room temperature. But you cannot use it before 1 hour, or you'll get awful crepes. You'll get leather things.
You're going to get awful crepes now.
Well, that's your fault, not mine.
I'll do my best. The pan we made the crepes in yesterday is slightly smaller than this one. As Peter said, in that instance, it does make 25 to 30 crepes. If you use a pan this size, which is about 8 inches across, you'll probably only get about 20 out of it. This is a non-stick omelette pan. If you have an ordinary metal pan, which is either an omelette pan or a crepe pan you've got at home, and it gets well seasoned, one thing you must not do after you've used it is wash it out, especially with one of those soapy pads that might scratch the surface. Just wipe it out with a paper towel. Now, we've done the mixture, and we've left the mixture stand, as Peter said, and I've made a few of these. I'll just pop this away. And all we do now is take about a ladle full of this and try and spread it over the base of this pan, because we are trying to keep them thin, not thick. Now, you just use enough to go. I'm not thick.
Bit of fool
Fat
me.
maybe, but not thick. And then just leave them on the heat. Now, if you were rich enough, if you were rich enough, you could have 2 of these and go from one to the other. It makes them quicker. When they dry out like they're doing now and they start to bubble up, some of that butter that's in there will come through. Now, what you have to do after that is just shuffle it around. What I'm going to do is actually turn these, because they're so thin, over with my fingers, except that it's all broken up. Well, in that case, I'll toss it, and it's still gone into a funny lump. Anyway, when you've done that one, you just do another one quite simply. I'll show you the... See, now look how it shrunk. Now, you see, that shrunk. That's not normal. But all you do is just then toss them like that, and it still went flicked. Oh, never mind. The first one doesn't always come out right, nor does the second or the third. It's very difficult using something for the first time.
Cheers.
Let's do another one of these. Now, what you do, if you're making a sweet mixture, I'm going to make this one a bit thicker, which is cheating, really. If you do a sweet mixture for this, if you're making sweet crepes, then what you do is you add to the mixture, instead of salt, you add about 2 tablespoons of sugar and about 2 tablespoons of brandy or cognac. Or, with the savoury ones, what you can do is chop up some fresh parsley or fresh herbs, put them in, and make yourself a whole lovely heap of crepes, you know, herb-flavoured crepes. You can also do it too with half wholemeal and half plain flour. And you can do all sorts of other things. I'm chatting on because it's not working. But however it will. Peter, perhaps we should go to you and come back to me when I'm ready to flip.
What a lovely idea. Now, I fortunately took the safety margin of making some crepes yesterday. As I say, they freeze superbly. We've got here, I've got one of those iceberg lettuce, you know, it's the very tight lettuce, shredded it and blanched it in boiling water and then let it drain in a colander so that it's slightly power cooked and slightly soft. And we did have this yesterday quite seriously. And this is leftover bolognese sauce. We're going to stack all these crepes up, some cheddar cheese and some tomato paste.
Before I come over there, can I just do this, because I will do this only once.
I hope you do. Oh.
See?
Black.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Can I have them here? So I'll stand here with an empty plate, which I'm waiting for at the moment, and use an oven-proof plate here. Now,
Right.
what we're going to do...
What about all that? You haven't done that bit yet.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Well, you get me so
Oh,
overawed.
you go on.
Oh, and I forgot to mention also, I knew there was something else. I was so fascinated by that boring program of yours. I've made a white sauce, or the French name for it, a bechamel sauce. And just to jazz it up a little, I added to this some freshly grated nutmeg and some extra bay leaves so that it was nice and pungent. So if you just dollop a bit in there.
A little bit goes into the lettuce.
This is my side and my talk.
Oh,
A
come
little
on,
into
hurry
this
up, then.
just to make this a nice wet cake, and I'll put some through the bolognese sauce as well, and keeping some aside to finish off the cake. Oh, just a moment, I'm not ready with this bit yet.
Oh, I'll do that while you do.
it.
Your mouth
First,
and
it
hands
doesn't
never
matter
work
the
together.
order that yours do. It doesn't matter the order of this. Firstly, I'm going to put some
lovely.
tomato concentrate paste on here, because you want a really spicy, savoury stack, we'll call it, rather than a cake. It's stuck.
Right.
What are you going to do on that? Little lettuce?
Little lettuce.
Little
Spread it over.
cheese?
A little bit of grated
Oh,
cheese on top of there.
Well, just a minute. Could I have a little more lettuce?
No, that's enough. Don't put
We're
too much in.
keeping
I'll slice off.
a moist, as I say, stack. You can go as
I told you his mouth works and all his hands stop at the same time.
I
What's
haven't-
that black bit? Oh, it's a bit of bay
bay
leaf.
leaf to prove it's real.
Right, okay.
Look, just a moment. You're doing a terrible job of this here. Get it to the edge too. Don't be mean. As I say, you can go as high as you want with it. Crepe.
Real? Oh, great.
Gosh, you've got little enough to
tomato
do.
paste.
More tomato paste again,
Right.
because we are going to cook
Put it
this.
over.
Just a minute.
Great.
Trying to keep my patience and my cool. Next,
Right,
lettuce, cheese.
Now you can
But you
change
go on and
ingredients.
on. We're using this with meat, but you could make a cheese one or a vegetarian one. But we'll show you the principle. So the crepes are already
Crepe.
cooked. Excuse me, are cooked.
Me
I mean,
too.
I can't get. Oh, look, you're making a terrible mess.
Oh, I'm trying
here.
my best, Pete. You've got to
Are you
get
in a
done.
hurry?
Yeah, I am a bit.
I mean, I'm
wanna
the
get
one that
in.
went down to the shop and got rattled by that cafe, man. I can't get over
Doesn't
it.
matter. I wouldn't worry about him.
Mind it, who you
Crepe.
said it is, I'm not surprised.
Tomato sauce.
Oh, goodness me, just a minute.
Spread it over quickly.
I don't need you, little Sireko.
Crepe.
I think we'll finish with that, sure.
Oh, no,
finish off.
might as well.
Oh,
I'm not
cheese.
wasting it. Cheese, crepe, that's it. Use it all
But as
up.
I say, quite seriously, without Mouthy interfering here, you could make this vegetarian, and if you've got them pre-frozen, this is something you can put together very, very quickly. Are you going to do more? I'm trying to
This
get
is
my
the
bechamel
last
sauce on.
bit.
Thank heavens
Right,
for that.
get your bechamel sauce.
Put the top on it.
Right. Put top on what? Oh, on this? Yeah, okay.
lovely.
Right, there we are.
Now keep some
Right.
of that bechamel sauce, as I said earlier, and just spoon some on here. Make it that it's fairly thick, and just spread this over the top. It will ooze down as
Don't
we're
do it
cooking
too much.
I like it when it spills down the sides, so if you wouldn't mind,
A lot of
I
it
would
spills
like
down
you...
your... Not much spills down your side. It mostly goes down your throat.
Who wants you at the cooking show drives you mad. A little cheese on the top of that, and Noel will put that in the oven, and it bakes in a few minutes just to get nice
It
and
might
hot.
slip. How do you
Oh
stop
yes,
it
I forgot
slipping?
about that. Now, if you've gone too high, just take a few toothpicks, push them down like this, and that'll just hold that, because when it's moving and it gets too hot, it may slide off, and just remove those afterwards.
Lovely. Now, you can make this early in the day, and then you
Or
can put it in the
yesterday.
fridge or the day before, but take it out and leave it come back to room temperature before you pop it in the oven. We preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius.
Don't need
It's
that
quite
again.
high. And all we do is leave it in there at 200 for about 15 minutes until it really goes nice and warm through and lovely and brown. Anyway, let's say and welcome our guest.
Why cook?
We have a guest today. Would you give a warm, warm welcome and say a big hello, hello to Gorden Kaye?
Gorden.
A little wine for Gorden. It's lovely to have you on the
French stuff.
Thank you very
We've
much.
been looking forward to it. I understand you're going to New Zealand.
Yes, we are.
Kaye.
Yes, in a very short time. Yes, we're going to take the stage show down to New Zealand.
You've been there before?
Yes, I went last year on a sort of recce visit. I have a family out there. I have about 40 relatives.
Oh,
out
really?
there.
Wonderful.
It's in all forms of the business. Some
Shapes
of them
and sizes.
Yes, yes, and all ages. And
We'll follow you back because we'll actually be back there when the show
so I
starts.
gather, yes, I'll keep running, don't worry.
Well, I hope you don't. We're hoping to get back in time to see your show because it'll be on when we just...
You'll be expecting comp tickets
Well,
for this.
Why not?
Free tickets.
Well, we know the owner of the theatre, so we'll try. But Gordon, we can assure you you'll get an outstanding welcome in New
Because
Zealand.
it is your show that you're doing is one of the
so-
most popular in New Zealand, without
Not
doubt.
one of the
It is
most popular.
the most
The
popular.
most popular.
It even
Let's
beats
get
the
it right.
news.
Well, it's nice
And
to go down
that's
to the
saying
colony. Yeah, nice to go down to the colonies and
Yeah.
teach
Well,
them.
it's nice
Listen,
of
do
you
we
to
mind
come,
if you
isn't it,
take, would you take
Yes,
Gordon's
of course.
jacket? Because I want to help him cook, and then I'd rather him...
dear, this looks a bit
I'll
familiar.
hang this
Put that
up so
on
it
for us,
doesn't
please.
get filthy
bit
without
familiar.
Because I
cooking.
don't want you to be...
Yes, what? Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, dear. Is this wine? Is it drinkable?
Yes, well, perhaps you'd now like cognac.
Oh, yeah, cognac would be
Yes,
much
of
better,
course.
yes, much more preferable. Up your bottoms, all right?
And cheers to you too, sir.
You're welcome. You all right?
Yes, there's a lovely audience out there. Did you want to say something to them? You must have a
Well,
message.
you are probably wondering what I am doing in the kitchen of these two New Zealand gentlemen. Well, listen very carefully. I shall say this only once. I am here for two basic reasons. One, because Monsieur David and Monsieur Peter are going to show me some of their special crepe recipes today. And also, secondly, because as I have just told you, we are going to open a new branch of Café René in New Zealand, because you will be surprised to learn that I am very big down under. Would you like to shall we-
Opening in opposition to us now, are you? So we've got opposition already. René, what we're going... May I call you René,
You-
of
if
course?
you
You're
wish,
not
yes.
at all like that man down
Feel
the road.
free.
He was so rude. I've got here some cottage cheese. If you be kind of... We'll just...
Yes.
Oh, we'll open it like that. That's easy. If you just fork that through to keep it light.
Yes.
And I've got
Mix
a
it up.
small onion here that I've chopped very finely. Now, these are the Russian... Bang it.
Pardon?
To get it out, that's it.
Give it
As
a
the
big
actress
bang.
said to the
That's it.
bishop, yes.
And I think this is going to be terribly interesting. We're going
bit
to do
early in
some
the day
crepes.
for a big bang,
May
I
I have
think.
some crepes? May I have some crepes, please? Oh,
You've got
fat
them
one.
there.
Where?
By the side of you.
Crepes.
I can't see anywhere. Oh, these old things.
Oh,
I
there
want
we
a
are.
proper one.
They are proper ones.
Ronnie, what we're going to do here, you've done that.
I'm just mixing it up. Is that all right?
Yes.
Folding it in, I think.
Folding and folding,
Yes.
that's it. A little pepper and salt. And you
Yes.
could to this if you wanted to add a little cayenne pepper just to make it a little sharper.
Sounds very French, Cayenne,
It,
doesn't it?
it does. Well, Cayenne is in France, isn't it? You should,
Yes,
it's next
it
door
is.
to your village, isn't
Very
it?
near to, yes. Nouvion. Yes.
So what we're going to do here, I'll
This
put
is
that
fun,
up.
isn't it?
Isn't it? It's like making little mud pies.
Right,
I'll get
now
you
what do we
another
do?
spoon. I'm sorry to keep stepping away. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he's got to watch everything.
Well, I like to
we
see
just
how he
take
does
one
it.
of...
Oh,
you
shall I
see,
take
oh,
that for
that
you?
David,
see
there we
how
are. Thank you
fine...
very much.
That's a crepe, you see.
Yes.
And I'll turn it to the camera so they can see how
Oh, it is.
fine that
Isn't
crepe
it thin?
is.
Did you knit that yourself?
Yes, I do. Oh, it's
very
you
good.
don't actually knit
Oh, I
crepes, you
see.
make them. But I'll explain. I understand you don't cook in your own restaurant.
Well, I used to do toast, but I lost the recipe.
Exactly. So all we're going to do is just lightly fold these up, or roll these up like
Yes.
this, like rolling a cigar.
Oh, right.
And then I'm going to put them on
nice.
there. Would you like to do one? Because I'm
Oh,
sure you'll do it.
yes.
Coloured side down.
I normally help my wife to do the cooking. I hold the bucket. Is that enough?
Yes, but you put it. That's
Oh,
it.
it's-
Get it
How
in.
is she singing well these days?
She wanted to come this afternoon and sing for you very badly, but that is how she normally sings.
Oh, I thought your wife had rather.
I have.
Oh, see, you've
she's
done
outside in the car. I've lost the key to the boot.
it. So we'll do
you
another
doing
one
another
like
one?
this. Yes.
It's like
very-
rolling cigars, isn't
Isn't it?
Yes.
The same principle. You just get them
On the
like
inside of your thigh. These newborn
No, I-
maidens do that, yes?
Well, I think they would rather mess these up a fraction.
How many
You'd
have we got?
End up with a very
Is that
messy
it?
leg. No, we'll do another one because
Right
you did
then.
it so
You'd end up with a lovely
That's that
crepe, but a funny new bow lady.
Here we are. This is going to be very tasty.
So you could serve this in the cafe.
What do you use this for? What point in the meal do you use this for normally?
Anytime. What we could do with this.
Sort of
what
starter. Is it a cold one or is it going
This
to be
is cold.
cooked up?
No, this is already cooked. So what we're going to do... Oh, that's definitely
Good job the
done.
policeman's not on here. He would have got that one wrong.
Beautifully done.
I'm not listening
Beautifully
to a word
done,
you
Renee.
say.
What we're going to do with that later on is cover these in sour cream and then add a little line of black caviar to it. That's why we really call these Russian crepes. I'm going to put these in the fridge.
Oh, good. Right. Okay.
Now, what are we going to do over here, Pierre?
Oh, I don't know. That's your kitchen.
Noisy here. Renee, how
What you got
lovely.
here?
Well, do you like desserts?
I love them. And
Right,
look
well,
at this. Well, of course I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a match set.
Bookends.
Bookends. What we've actually done here, I've put in there about 3 tablespoons of sugar, caster
Yes.
sugar,
Yeah.
and 2 tablespoons of butter, and just bring that to the boil.
This is a low-calorie version, is it?
Oh,
this one?
definitely, yes. The butter comes from low-calorie cows. They've only got short legs.
Yes.
And
Sugar comes from
the sugar comes from...
the big white paper bag, yes.
You have big white paper bags over there,
Yes,
do
we
you?
do indeed, yes. And blue ones as well, yes. We won't go into that.
All right.
Is it bubbling?
Bubbling? Yes, it is bubbling. And now what we'll add to that is the juice of an orange,
Yes.
plus also its rind.
I'm all right, thank you, Renee.
And
Don't
if
worry.
you do, when
Wrapping
you're
away.
doing this way, what you
Yes.
do is you add juice of half a lemon as well. And that sounds sharp, but in actual fact, what
Or
it
you
does...
could add half the juice of a whole lemon, could you?
half the juice of a whole lemon.
Well, it's
Yes,
just-
you could, I
Yes,
suppose.
if you were...
It's French are funny. Sorry. And you just bring that to the boil. Now, what I'd like you to do, there are 4 little crepes there. If you fold those on there for me in
On there?
quarters. Yes, please.
Right, in quarters.
In quarters.
Well, you should
know
be
how to
good
do
at that,
quarters?
Renee, because you come from the French Quarter, I
Ah,
believe.
yes. There we
Subtle?
are.
One.
Too subtle for this lot, by the sound of it.
Quiet, aren't they?
Here we
They're
go.
out there. Oh,
It's
yes, they're all
fascinating.
there.
Yes.
I've got pips in this. You won't
Have you?
mind that, will you?
No, spit the pips out, David. I might do, I'm folding them inside out, is that right?
Yeah, that'll do. I don't
I'll
mind
do
the
this one
cradle.
I'll do this one the other way around, just for, you know.
All right.
There we
Now,
are.
what I want to do is just pop those. This hasn't quite come to the boil, but if you put those, lay those 4 in there, and then what we do is let them simmer in that beautiful juice of orange juice. Now, if you are not going to do anything else, one of the things, not going to do anything else, how stupid of me, you don't do anything. But if you want to, what you do then is add some Cointreau, about 1/3 of a cup. Just let this boil up. Now, for those people at home who do not want to use liqueur, then add a little more lemon, a little more orange juice, a little more orange rind, and just let that simmer. So I'll just let those simmer away until they're imbued
they smell good.
all that beautiful flavour.
I look forward to
And
having
then
one
we'll
of
eat
those.
them. Oh, you think? You
Yes,
reckon
please.
you're going to get one?
I hope so.
10 francs. Hope you bought your money. What's Peter doing
It's a
now?
tight one, Renee.
Isn't it? Yes.
It's a big kitchen, isn't it?
It's
now,
quite
what
big.
I'm going to do, I said earlier we're using sour cream, but I find here in England the sour cream is by far too thin. In New Zealand, it's quite gelatinous and quite thick. Like
Pardon?
blancmange. Like a blancmange,
All right,
that
yes,
texture.
yes.
So I've beaten this, because after all, it is cream. Because
Yes.
I want this to, I hope, hold on the top of these crepes, you see. I think I'll do this if you don't mind.
Yes.
You just watch me very carefully.
I will.
Just, I want this to
Because he
sit
would do
along.
this only once.
No, I'm actually going to do this 4 times. It doesn't matter if it
resist that.
slightly spills down, but it really is to keep the caviar on the top and just make them look a little more attractive. I speak French so beautifully. You notice that
It's
accent?
wonderful. You just slip into it and slip out of it.
Well, it's terribly easy, really. I went to school once. And
Can you remember that far back?
no, I read books, you see, and they remind me of the past. But we're just doing that like that, and this comes the tricky bit. I'll remove that so the
Right.
camera can see. And then we're using here, it's not caviar, it's lumpfish, actually. They dye it black. But there's a red one as well. If you put this on, it's just to make it look a little more attractive.
Yes.
Oh, my hands have stopped shaking. You can do it in lines if you've got steady hands, or in dollops. But there's a red one on the market as well, so you could alternate this and have red and black ones. And then if you wanted to, you could cut these in thirds and serve them as an hors d'oeuvre.
Yes,
With the hors
yes.
d'oeuvre, notice
Yes,
that,
yes,
with
yes.
Rouen, that's from.
Whatever that means. Yeah.
How many...
We have crudities as well in France.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Very
They're-
crudities.
Some of the French crudities are not to be spoken about.
Oh, really?
But what do they taste like, though?
Oh, they're delicious, yes. Raw veggies.
Raw veggies.
And mayonnaise.
What would you serve this at mayonnaise? Oh, mind you, I suppose
Well,
it's a bit
it's
difficult,
hard,
isn't
it's
it?
hard to get the caviar during the wartime, you know.
Yeah,
we had a lot
that's
of trouble
true.
Getting
See,
the,
that
the
goes-
sturgeons to give up their eggs, yes.
It's just an
It's
idea.
nice, it's nice.
Very simple.
Back in the, well, that's what you're doing now, Peter.
And then I'm going to get out of the oven, which again they have shifted
is the
to.
oven.
Thank you so much. I have problems. That's right. Ovens are hot, fridges are cold.
What is that?
Ha! This is the stacked. Mind, René, it's very hot.
That is a right
Very
pile of
hot.
crepe.
It is a pile of crepe.
It is a pile of crepe, yes, it's a wonderful.
And then just removing those very carefully like this onto the carpet.
Toothpicks. He's put his coat on.
That was just, has he? He's lucky he's got a coat. But there again,
that
you
smells
see,
absolutely delicious.
it's just the stacked crepes. So you've got the cold ones, the hot ones, and David's doing, I believe,
Right.
dessert.
Oh, if this
Now,
was smell
these
vision,
ones-
if this was smell vision, yes, please.
These ones have simmered down, as you can see. This
jacket.
is simmering nicely, and all that lovely flavour goes through these crepes. So I'll just take those over to here, and we'll serve them onto a serving dish because Gordon now wanted some. Now I'll just
Didn't he
do
have to
these.
go?
Did he? I shouldn't wonder.
Gordon's looking forward to eating these.
All right, now this is not easy to get these out. That's one. And now these.
You didn't set them on fire. I mean,
No,
that's a
you
bit
can, well, you
disappointing.
can in a
you
way,
flambe
but
them?
then we have problems with that. If we did that in the studio,
All the
put
bells would ring.
Yeah, all the bells would ring. The water would come down. I think we're doing, singing in the rain under, cooking show in the rain or something like that. But there you are. There's just those now. They're all imbued with that. All you need to do with that then is just sprinkle just a little bit.
This is carrot.
No, these are long
very
shreds
elegant.
of orange.
Long
Looks
thin
like
oranges,
spaghetti,
really.
doesn't it?
Do you throw that jello?
Oh, no.
no,
We'd
no, that
actually
would go
use
for
more
some
than
more.
that because that would do 8 to 12, at least 12 crepes in that
Right.
particular
But we're just giving
thing.
all these wonderful people the principles. So if you'd like to take the cold ones,
Yes.
we'll
And
go
we'll
to
go
table.
through and eat,
I'll
Gordon.
pick up this red
Oh, right. Oh, great.
All right.
Crepe.
And
Wonderful.
through we
Magic,
go.
isn't it?
Look at the
Yeah,
mess.
it's terrific.
Sit in the middle, Gordon.
On the move.
Now, all right.
I hit the bag.
Now, as you said,
It's the stopping and the
we are
going
drinking.
round's
What are
not
we
so
drinking with it?
bad.
Now, this wine there is a nice wine chosen really to go with the dessert one.
Well, we'll start with this, but we were just saying, we're again talking about the principles here of crepes. We've done the stacked one here that could be vegetarian, or we've used here bolognese. Oh, it's a lovely thing to do with leftovers. There's the other crepes which are served cold, and the dessert one. Shall I cut you a piece of this?
Yes,
Would
please.
you
I'd
like
love-
to be
I
adventurous enough
would.
to eat some?
I would.
The other thing, just before you do, I was going to ask you before we started the show, actually, you have been in several things like Much Ado About Nothing. Now, do people...
Yes,
That's
how
this
long ago
show.
was that?
I did my Shakespeare stint for the BBC. They did the whole lot of Shakespeare plays, and I was in Much Ado and I was in King John. It's nice to ring the changes occasionally, isn't it? Go on, Peter.
And
Do you want another
how
knife?
do
That's
you
all right.
go on?
It's very embarrassing. This. We'll all look over here.
We'll all go that way. It won't take any
Oh,
notice. Got
right,
it,
right.
Now, the only thing is, no, with that, I was going to say,
Monsieur?
do people remember you from that, or is it really just from a lower
It
life?
tends to be the comedy that gets us going. I did also, for the other side, do a thing called Coronation Street. Whatever happened to that?
I don't know. I think it's
still
still
going.
on.
It's still going, isn't it? Do you get that in New Zealand?
Oh, yes. We
Can
get all
I
of them.
have a little
Eastern-
try?
Yes,
of
of
this?
course.
And pull a face?
Delight with it.
What do you think?
Oh, it's very,
All
very
right.
good.
Now, I'll
indeed.
also give
Yeah.
you one of these crepes, then, in that case.
And I'll cut you another piece of this.
Just to
Well, I
try
know
one
you've
of
got
these.
to
You're
sweet
keeping me off the caveat, but
I've
don't-
got... No, you can have
Oh,
that.
no, you can
I'll
have that
serve
later.
that up
No,
for you
I
as
don't.
well.
I don't know who cut these up. These are the longest shreds I've ever seen in my entire life.
That
There's
is
another
that
one on the
isn't
side
it?
for
Yes.
later if you want to try that
I'm going
as well.
to try this now. I mean, on top
Anyway,
of
it's
the
very
bolognese.
simple to do, as you see, and it's just, you don't always eat all of these at once. You'll have the crepe cake in one meal, this for another meal, and of course the dessert for another meal.
Listen,
not
I haven't
altogether.
eaten all day. I'm having the lot now.
But Gordon,
it's
every success to your show when it
Yes,
goes to New
yes,
Zealand.
yes.
To the rest of the cast, thank them very much. Thank you for coming.
Worse than
welcome.
spaghetti.
And long live René.
Oh, thank you very
Yes,
much.
René,
I'll drink to that.
Thank you, Gordon.
To our audience and everybody at home, thank you for watching. And we'll see you very shortly. God bless. Thank you. That's lovely.
I'm determined to get some of this.
It looks like spaghetti. I'm sorry about that. Right, what is it? I think I'll have some of this.
That's so simple, though, isn't it? I mean, given...